Hello and welcome to another episode of Current Affairs MCQ. Let's begin with previous day question. Consider the following statements related to French in India. The first French factory in India was established at Masulipatam. They occupied Mahe in Malabar and Yanam in Coromandel. The arrival of Dupleix as French governor saw the beginning of Anglo-French conflict. How many of the above statements is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none. The correct answer is option B. The first French factory in India was established at Surat in 1667 by Francois Caron, which was followed by the factory at Masulipatam by Markara in 1669. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. They occupied Mahe in Malabar, Yanam in Coromandel both in 1725 and Karaikal in Tamil Nadu 1739. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The arrival of Dupleix as French governor in India in 1742 saw the beginning of Anglo-French conflict, Carnatic Wars, which resulted in their final defeat in India. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Let's begin with today's session. Consider the following statements about the Nobel Prize in Literature awarded in 2024. South Korean author Han Kang received the prize for her exploration of historical traumas and the fragility of life through her intense poetic prose. Han Kang is the first South Korean writer to be awarded with the Nobel Prize in Literature. The Nobel Prize in Literature is awarded by the Nobel Committee in Oslo, Norway. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option A. Han Kang was awarded the 2024 Nobel Prize in Literature for her intense poetic prose, which delves into themes of historical trauma and the fragility of life. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Han Kang is indeed the first South Korean writer to win the Nobel Prize in Literature, marking a significant achievement for South Korea's literary community. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The Nobel Prize in Literature is awarded by the Swedish Academy in Stockholm, Sweden, not by the Nobel Committee in Oslo, Norway, which is responsible for the Nobel Peace Prize. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements about cadaver donation. Cadaver donation involves donating the entire body to science after death to aid medical training. Unclaimed bodies can be used for medical education under the States Anatomy Act 1959, requiring relatives to claim the body within 48 hours. The National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization oversees the monitoring of whole body donations in India. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option A. Cadaver donation involves donating the entire body to science after death, primarily for the training of medical professionals in understanding human anatomy and surgical practices. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Unclaimed bodies can be utilized for medical education under the States Anatomy Act 1959, which stipulates that relatives must claim the body within 48 hours. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization manages organ transplantation from deceased donors but does not oversee the monitoring of whole body donations. This responsibility generally falls on the anatomy departments of medical colleges. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next question. Regarding Living Planet Report 2024, consider the following statements. It is an annual report released by the Indian Environmental Society. There has been a catastrophic 73% decline in the average size of monitored wildlife populations in just 50 years. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option B. The Living Planet Report 2024 is a biennial assessment by conservation organization, the World Wildlife Fund. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. As per the report, there has been a catastrophic 73% decline in the average size of monitored wildlife populations in just 50 years, 1970 to 2020. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next question. Regarding the Nobel Prize, consider the following statements. The 2024 Nobel Prize for Peace has been awarded to Nihon Hidankyo, a Japanese organization of survivors of the Hiroshima-Nagasaki bombings. The 2024 Nobel Prize in Physics has been awarded for modern artificial neural networks and the machine learning. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C. Nobel Peace Prize. The 2024 Nobel Prize for Peace has been awarded to Nihon Hidenkyo, a Japanese organization of survivors of the Hiroshima-Nagasaki bombings, for its efforts to achieve a world free of nuclear weapons. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The 2024 Nobel Prize in Physics has been awarded to John J. Hopfield and Geoffrey E. Hinton for modern artificial neural networks and machine learning. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Next question. Regarding the East Asia Summit, consider the following statements. It was established in 2005 as an India-led initiative. It has 18 member countries excluding ASEAN members. EAS members represented approximately 53% of the world's population and accounted for approximately 60% of global GDP. How many of the above statements is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none. The correct answer is option A. The East Asia Summit was established in 2005 as an association of Southeast Asian nations-led initiative. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The idea of an East Asia grouping was first proposed by then Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad in 1991. The EAS operates on the principles of openness, inclusiveness, respect for international law, ASEAN centrality, and ASEAN's role as the driving force. The EAS is a key forum for strategic dialogue in the Indo-Pacific region involving 18 countries including ASEAN members. The EAS comprises 18 members. The 10 ASEAN countries, that is Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam, and 8 dialogue partners, that is Australia, China, India, Japan, New Zealand, Republic of Korea, Russia and the United States. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. In 2023, EAS members represented approximately 53% of the world's population and accounted for approximately 60% of global GDP. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding nuclear disarmament treaties. The Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons completely bans nuclear weapons development, testing and use. The Non-Proliferation Treaty recognizes all countries with nuclear weapons and promotes global disarmament. The Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, signed in 1996, has entered into force and prohibits all forms of nuclear test worldwide. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only. The correct answer is option A. Nuclear treaties. The Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons Development, Testing and Use. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The Non-Proliferation Treaty only recognizes 5 nuclear weapon states: US, Russia, China, UK and France, not all countries with nuclear weapons, and promotes disarmament but not a complete ban. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. While the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty was signed in 1996, it has not yet entered into force due to non-ratification by some key states. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following statements is or are true regarding the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework and India's role? India has been elected as the Vice Chair of the Supply Chain Council under the IPEF. The IPEF consists of 14 member countries focusing on economic cooperation, with India joining all 4 pillars of the framework. The Supply Chain Council under the IPEF aims to enhance cooperation for addressing critical supply chain disruptions and resilience. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 3 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option A. India has recently been elected as the Vice Chair of the Supply Chain Council under the IPEF. Hence, statement 1 is correct. IPEF was launched in May 2022 in Tokyo, Japan, comprising 14 countries. The IPEF is built on 4 main pillars. India has joined pillars 2nd to 4th of IPEF, while it has an observer status in pillar 1. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The Supply Chain Council under IPEF focuses on enhancing cooperation for addressing critical supply chain disruptions and resilience. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next question. Regarding the global semiconductor industry and India's role, consider the following statements. The India Semiconductor Mission aims to reduce chip dependence on foreign countries and attract global semiconductor firms to India. The US CHIPS Act 2022 aims to bring all semiconductor operations, including assembly, testing and packaging, back to the United States. India's advancements in high-performance computing and quantum computing research provide a compelling incentive for global fabs to nearshore operations to India. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none. The correct answer is option B. Global semiconductor industry and India's role. The India Semiconductor Mission aims to build self-reliance in chip production and attract foreign semiconductor companies to establish operations in India, hence statement 1 is correct. While the US CHIPS Act 2022 focuses on bringing back semiconductor design and fabrication to the US, assembly, testing and packaging are being friend-shored to other countries like India, hence statement 2 is not correct. India's advancements in high-performance computing and quantum computing provide strong incentives for semiconductor fabs to nearshore operations in India, hence statement 3 is correct, hence option B is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following best describes the issue with the inverted duty structure? The tax rate on final products is higher than that on raw materials. The tax rate on intermediate inputs and raw materials exceeds that on the final product. Domestic products are taxed at a lower rate than imported goods. The government reduces tariffs on all products uniformly. The correct answer is option B. Inverted duty structure. An inverted duty structure arises when the tax rate on inputs, raw materials or components is higher than the tax rate on the finished products. The tax rate on intermediate inputs and raw materials exceeds that on the final product, hence option B is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements about India-Russia trade relations. Trade between India and Russia increased significantly after the start of the Ukraine conflict, with oil imports being a major factor. India became one of the largest exporters of military equipment to Russia during this period. Which of the above statements are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option A. India-Russia trade relations. After the Russia-Ukraine conflict began, trade between India and Russia surged, with a significant portion of this growth being driven by India's increased imports of Russian oil, hence statement 1 is correct. While India's imports from Russia grew, especially in energy, India did not emerge as a large military exporter to Russia, hence statement 2 is not correct, hence option A is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Consider the following statements about India's oil exploration efforts and the proposed oil fields Regulation and Development Act 2024. It aims to reduce no-go areas in India's exclusive economic zones by 99%. It seeks to double the area being explored for oil and gas by 2025, including previously prohibited zones. Which of the above statements are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Send us the answer in the comment section. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.